Bastet is a combo count leader, and because of that, she plays very differently than Horus or Ra, who need to combo certain colors. And because of that, I kind of apply a different set of techniques to her. The way I combo with her, I like to call it stacking. It's essentially what I'm doing is stacking rows or matches of 3 on top of each other with no space in between, doing the right side and the left side, or the left side and the right side. And the reason this is great is because, one, you can maximize the number of combos you get on the screen. With this, with the right orbs, you could get a 10 combo off the screen alone. As you make matches, the orbs you don't use get compressed closer and closer together. So for instance, see this blue is kind of far away from these blues, and normally that would be kind of an annoying maneuver to match those together if I didn't have this blue in my hand. But by matching this green, like if I take this light right here and match these purples like this, and then match these greens like this blue has moved up to here now, and I can just sweep over like that, match the blues, match purples here, match reds here, and then continue on my merry way. I'll try it and show you how it looks, kind of. Kind of like that. And then so the other kind of matching is what I just call pathing, and that's kind of like normal matches where you kind of go, okay, where's a quick match I can make? Okay, so let's say I go, okay, I can go straight through here and make a match to make the hearts. Now what's the closest match I can make from here? I can probably do this and make the reds. Then what's the closest match I can make from here? I can probably do this. Or you can work backwards and be like, okay, I can go here to make those hearts. How can I match something to get here? Well, if I start from here and come through, then I'll be here. Or actually, that doesn't really work. If I come through this and stack them down here, then I can be here. And then, okay, well then how can I get here? Well, I can match these, and then come straight up, and then just so on like that. So you can work backwards from a match, or you can work forwards from a match, but that's essentially what I call pathing. And then ideally what you want to do is combine the two techniques, because pathing is great because often you get a board where you can just do like 2 swipes and have a 5 combo. But then by doing that you often have a lot of blank space between your matches. And then that's empty space where you can no longer fit a combo. So what you do is after you make these matches, you take 1 extra second to press them up against a wall or press them up against the next closest match, just so you don't have any empty wasted space. Let's see. I'm just gonna go ahead and try to match this. So there, I kind of did a combination of the two, and I need to kill these guys before next turn, so I'm gonna activate this player. Okay, so here let's try and stack the left side real fast. So if I come up like that, I'll make an L out of the blues, and then I can come through, and then I can stack the greens on top of that, the purples on top of that, then the reds on top of that. And then coming here, I can either jump to the bottom, or I can start from the top and match yellows here, and then I'll have a heart in my hand. So I'll try to match the last 3 blues probably down here, and then match the hearts with what I'm holding. All right, let's see how close to plan that actually goes. Surprisingly close to plan. I think that was exactly what I planned. Okay. So yeah, so that's stacking, and you know, that was pretty easy to get a big combo right there, just doing that. This board looks pretty interesting, actually. Looks like a checkerboard almost. Okay, so let's just... If I come straight down here like this, then that's a quick 2. But if I do that, I have this wasted space right here. And I don't really like wasting the space. So what I might do instead is come through like that, and then come back through to line it up and pull it against the wall like I was talking about. Then I can come through here and make greens, and then yeah, I could start working from there, or I can work from the bottom. Let me see. I think I'm going to do that cut across and then prong at the bottom. There. 7. So yeah, you can see Bastet has a scaling. If you don't know how Bastet works, she has a scaling multiplier that kicks in when you get a Awoken Bastet. Starts doing damage when you get a 5 multiplier, slightly more when you get 6, and slightly more when you get 7. I think it's 2 at 5, 3 at 6, and 4 at 7. Either that or it's 3, 3.5, and 4. I don't remember. So let me see if I can find somebody to delay a turn on, and I'll show another little technique you can use to make a big combo. What's the best way to take this board? So what I'm looking for, obviously, are pretty much, it's going to work just like a regular start. First, I'm looking to see if the board is easily stackable. If I drew an invisible line down the middle of the board, so there was a left half and a right half. If there were like 3 reds, 3 yellows, which there aren't, 3 blues, 3 greens, like just so that like there's a good number of chunks of orbs on there. And if not, if they're at least within 1 space away, so they're easily grabbable. So this right half is kind of stackable. Actually, it's very stackable, because I have 3 reds, 3 yellows, 3 greens, 3 blues. So I'm going to go ahead and stack this. I'm going to start with the red. And here's another thing that happens very common in stacking, is you make a vertical line of 3, and then you collapse it. And to collapse a line of 3, you just run up the side of it once, and then you run up on the other side. So up from the left, then up from the right. So like this. So you make a vertical, up from the left, up from the right, and then make sure everything's stuck together. Okay, so this floor is pretty easy. This floor, it doesn't do anything for 3 turns, and then it hits you pretty hard. But he also doesn't have a lot of life, so he's not threatening. And this is on Mythical, mind you. So I could kill him easily right now just by making a prong of greens over here and stacking up everything else. But let me see if I can show you another way to make a big combo. So if I stack reds here, purples here, and see, by doing that, this light here will have moved up to here, and now suddenly matching this with these two is as easy as just making a 3 match here. So reds, purples, lights, purples again, or no, greens, because this green is going to have been worked up. It's either going to be green and yellow, or yellow and green, and then purples again. And then I'll show you, you can actually deactivate this stack of 5 matches. I'll show you what I mean. Okay. Okay, and then, oh no! I was thinking too long. Okay, let me try that again. What does he have left? 2? Yeah, I could do this. Okay, I'm gonna do it on this side. I'm gonna match 3 lights, and then 3 greens, 3 blues, 3 purples. Okay. And then, let's see. And then after that, all I'm going to do is I'm going to pass down the right side and up the left, and then it's going to kind of deactivate that combo for me to reactivate it later by just in reverse going down the left and up the right side. Okay, so let me see. I'm going to start with... Do I want to start with the yellows? Yeah, I'll start with the yellows. Okay. Start with the yellows, do the greens, do the blues, do this side. Oops. Okay. Well, I kind of lost my purple there. I'm going to move it back in. But so now, if that purple was still right here, so I'm just going to scoot a purple over there, this combo would pretty much be ready to go. Let's see. In fact, I'm probably just going to go ahead and, yeah, alright. So let me just show you how this works. So first, all you have to do is come in like this, out like that, and you have an instant match of orbs on the wherever side you built it on. So like, if you're in a situation like this where an enemy's got 2 turns before it attacks, you can set up one big hit and then hit him. You also don't have to actually make the stack and then run through it. Once you get the hang of it, you can actually just build it up piecewise so it looks exactly like that. It involves a lot of diagonal moves if you want to be able to do it quickly, but yeah, it can save time in the long run. Okay, so let's see what I'm going to do here. Same thing, I'm going to come straight down, up, over, and then I'll pull this in and then make lights again here and then match some more. Oh, never mind. What am I saying? I don't even have green orbs. I don't have green orbs, but these guys here are really weak. I think that actually might be enough to kill them even without green orbs. Especially if I grab a light orb to do it, a red orb, and then make a prong with it later. I'm gonna try that. Oh, and I got my greens and onions. So also when matching, a good thing to think about is another way to look at the orbs is to kind of think of these little boxes of 4 orbs as a box you can rotate, like as if there was a pin in the very center of these 4 orbs. If I took this orb and I spun it and just kind of like went in a circle like this, every time I did that, these 4 orbs would rotate in opposite direction. So these 2 reds are here, and I want to get them here. All I need to do is rotate this box twice in any direction, and these 2 reds will be right here. So you just spin twice really fast on it, and just make sure you pull out of it in the right way and don't accidentally mess up what you set. So if I spin twice and go straight out, these 2 reds end up there. So let's see. Is that what I want to do here? I actually don't, because yeah, okay. I'll spin twice like this and then go straight out, and then I'll come up and start stacking from the top down with purple, yellow, and then I'm gonna hustle this green down to here, make a red, and then finish off with my green match. I think that's what I'm gonna do. Okay. I lied. I'm setting it up to cascade instead. Cascading is also a really great tool if you have like an orb up at the top of the screen and you don't want to have to hustle it all the way down doing like those 4 little loops, just like running it across the screen. At least from the top to the bottom anyways, you have the luxury of dropping orbs from the top to the bottom. If you're trying to get an orb from the left to the right or the right to the left, you're stuck hustling it across. Okay, so she's got the absorb, and I don't need to worry about that because of GZL's placement. I'm just going to activate a Bastet and blow right through her. I think I'm going to take a light orb in hand. So again, I'm looking at the board. Immediately I see it does not look good for stacking at all. If I look at the right half, I've got 5 blues here, only 2 reds with 1 I can grab easy, 2 greens with 1 I can grab kinda easy, 2 purples, nothing I can grab easy, 2 hearts as far as they could possibly be from each other, 2 lights with nothing in reach. So I don't want to stack this. I'm gonna have to find a way to path it and figure out how I want to do it. I think I'm gonna place, especially when you're working with a team like Bastet where you know you're gonna want a prong. A very good way to plan your board is by figuring out where you want to place the prong itself, because everything else is going to have to be built around that prong. So for instance, if I place the prong here, if you have a vertical prong on the left or the right, what you can do is still fit a horizontal match of 3 next to it, and then another one adjacent to it right here. And then you can stack straight up still. So that still gives you 5, 6, 7. That's an easy way to get 7, is by doing a vertical here, 2 side by side, and then straight up. And if you can't get them all the way to the top, you still have room to do 2 more vertical matches here. So it's a lot of leeway. And that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna run this over like that, run this over like that, and then come up and through to make a prong. So actually from here over, from here over, and then I'm gonna try to do as much as I can on my way back. So here, all the way through, all the way down like this, over and spin this, spin these 2 so they end up here, and then I'm going to come up and make the prong. And since these 3 reds would be here normally, I'm going to go through them, so I pull the 3 reds and line them up against the wall to save as much space as possible. That way, by putting these 3 reds here instead of here, I have all this room to work with instead of being confined down to just here. And because I have that room to work with, it's going to be a lot easier to pull other orbs in. Because, let's see, what do I want to actually move here? Okay, through. Alright, let's go ahead and just try that and see how it works out. I've been talking too long and I'm probably going to mess up now anyways. No! Messed up a diagonal. Oops! And instead I got a prong. Got my 7th match on the way. And a lot of times, when you start comboing like bigger than 5, because you can only make 10 matches on the screen, anytime you start matching more than 5, you cross over that halfway threshold, and the next 5 matches start to just make themselves. And that's another reason it's very important that when you match, you push everything up against a wall. Because if you just make 5 random matches and they're all over the place, then the rest of the 5 matches will be impossible to make. But if the first 5 matches you make sure to line them up and stack them up either against the wall or themselves, then the last 5 matches happen almost automatically. Because then you're left with half of the screen and half of the orbs all packed together in the same little place. And then you make 1 match, and then the next one becomes even easier and becomes even easier. So it's just like when you're making rows, you know, you take the color you're not using, you do half of it, and then the rest of it does itself. It's the same way when you're making Bastet combos. It's all about doing as little work as possible and getting the most results. Okay, so these guys, I'm gonna pop a speaking of little work as possible, I'm gonna pop a Bastet active just to make sure I kill him. I don't know what I want to do here. I don't know what I want to do. I think I'm just going to come through and spin these blues for no reason. And then and then pull them up against the top. Make these 3 heals lay flat and pull them into the corner, and then start stacking straight up. That way I have 2 done, and then I can stack to the top for hopefully 7. Okay, I'm gonna try that. That didn't work. Okay, still got my 7, that's okay. Another great thing about Bastet is you activate her and she just does so much damage. For any regular descends, you're going to be doing so much overkill damage with her. A lot of times I run Osiris instead of Bastet, because Osiris doesn't quite have the damage output she has, but it's still very good damage. And as a trade-off for that huge burst, he gets a bonus to hit points and recovery, making him less of a glass cannon than Bastet. Okay, so Athena puts up that preemptive where anything less than 4 or less doesn't deal damage to her. But anything 4 or less doesn't deal damage with Bastet anyways. At least nothing worthwhile. So I'm gonna punch Meimei and just end this. Okay, I've already got prongs set up at the top. I'm gonna set up prongs on the right and a match on the left. I'm gonna grab this to do it. Yeah? Yeah. Probably should have went for more than a 5 match in retrospect, but it's so overkill that it doesn't really matter. Okay, and then this should be easy too. I'm just gonna pretty much throw the kitchen sink at her. Surprisingly, that's not very many. That's only 2 prongs, so I'm actually gonna have to think about how I want to do this. I'll leave these lights here, then I'll do green, then I'll do red, then I'll do green, then I'll do heals. Okay, so I'm gonna actually probably grab this red. Okay. I'm gonna grab this green, actually. Yeah, I'm gonna grab this green. Whoosh. There, 7. Okay, and that's Hera.